Moshe Feiglin, shalom.
Hello, Mark.
When you see what many are alleging has been done to prevent you from challenging the Prime Minister, what lesson do you learn from this?
I guess the major lesson is that the challenge is real. It's a real challenge. Thank God there is one voice in the leading party of Israel that oppose the so-called Palestinian state solution, oppose what's happening in Yehuda v'Shomron, the destruction of outposts and so on. And the fact that even though many votes were stolen from us, yet quarter of the Likud, every fourth Likudnik voted for me, it is a tremendous achievement. And this time, these are not votes that we brought from home. From Yehuda and Shomron, we got about a quarter, maybe 20% of my voters came from the settlements. All the others came from Bat Yam, Cholon, Tel Aviv, Yerushalayim, Hadera, all over the country. And there is no more Manhigut Yehudit faction in the Likud. We are a major part of the Likud, the second force in the Likud today. From these 25, probably much more than that, but from these official 25 real substantial force in the Likud, it'll be much easier to get to over 50 next time.
For example, what kind of things have you seen happening that would indicate there was impropriety?
Okay, we went through all the tricks and shticks that written in the book, and some new were written especially for us. At this point, I must thank from the bottom of my heart all of those people who really volunteered and worked like crazy this day, fighting against these forces. Look, it was not easy. This time it was against a prime minister, not just the head of an opposition party, very strong and popular these days, and I was the only one who runs against him. All the government stood behind him, the establishment of the Likud, the mayors. It was not easy. So when you really understand what we stood against, you really understand what a tremendous achievement it was. In spite of all these tricks, in some places there are double, like Beit She'an, for example, there are about 1,000 voters, but somehow 2,000 people voted. And of course, there's over 90% for Netanyahu. And other places as well, Beit Shemesh, for example, things that are far away from being strictly kosher happened. But we're not crying on the past. Of course, we're going to investigate, and we're going to bring to courts those who will be able to put hand on. We're not going to give up on that, because simply, not because we care so much to add few more percentage to my achievement. We're going to do the fight now, because we need to make sure that this will not happen again next time when I'm running to the Knesset.
Last general elections, you were pushed down the list from 20 to the 30-something spot. This was a deliberate attempt to prevent you from becoming a Knesset member. What are you doing different this time to prevent the same thing from happening again?
Look, it'll be much harder to do the same shtick again this time. Hopefully, they're gonna vote for me now in even a higher percentage. It is not an easy. It is not an easy candidacy. Okay, let's say the truth. What I represent is a revolution, and there's a combination of forces that will do everything to avoid me from getting this power in Israel and take the people of Israel the land of Israel, the state of Israel, towards the direction it should go, towards the direction that Abraham started in Lech Lecha 4,000 years ago, the direction that our Father in heaven wants us to go. But it's going to win. As we see now, they did all the tricks in the book, so I got 25% instead of 36%. So what? We're continuing. We're continuing with a smile. We're doing all the fights. We're doing everything that needs to be done. Nothing is easy, but we definitely should not let those tricks and those forces put us into a despair or any weakness. It's simply harder, but we'll fight with what we have and we'll win.
When you consider what lengths people in Likud have gone through to keep you out or for moving forward, when will you reach a point where you say, enough's enough? This is not getting me where I need to be or where I want to be or what I need to accomplish. How do you call this success?
Look, this last election put us in a new ball game in the Likud and in the Israeli conscience. We are not just a bunch of settlers that marched into the Likud today. Today we are a major part of the Likud DNA, I would say. Okay, when the simple Israeli who's a Likud member had decided to put the name Feiglin and not the name Netanyahu, it means that we are in a new place. Obviously, we can expect these guys, 15,000 voters that I got, to vote for me to the list, to the Knesset as well, and probably much more, because there were many people who said to the head of the party, not yet, but we definitely want to see you at the Knesset. So the chances are very good. You cannot avoid this force, and all the political reporters in Israel from Channel 1, Channel 2 and so on already saying Feiglin is a mainstream in the Likud. It is not just the Feiglinites, this is the Likud.
All right, we're running out of time, but what interesting feedback have you been hearing from your supporters?
I can just tell you that the day after this election, I got phone calls. Believe it or not only from Knesset members and ministers in the Likud, I got phone calls from Knesset members in Kadima that already looking for ways back to Likud, and guess what? Who they calling? To open their door, and don't worry, I'm not going to do that, but who do they call to open their door back to the leading party? It's just another example to those who may not understand and the gaining force that we got in this election in the Likud and in our march towards the leading of the State of Israel.
Managing Chairman Moshe Feiglin, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.